AITA for refusing to apologize to my mother-in-law after she saw me wearing underwear? This happened yesterday morning at 9 in the morning. IF33 was in the kitchen eating breakfast wearing my regular underwear. Suddenly I heard gasping sounds coming towards me. I turned and saw mother and sister-in-law yelling about what I was wearing. I was in utter shock and just froze in my seat. My husband was asleep at the time and he must have heard his mom and sister scream because he ran downstairs asking what's going. His mom started ranting loudly about what an inappropriate scene she and her daughter saw. I'm still sitting in shock when my husband started yelling at me to go put something on quickly. I went upstairs while his mom kept yelling after me, calling me shameless and inappropriate. I then heard my husband say it won't happen again. I was so mad. I put a coat on and went downstairs and started arguing with my mother-in-law. I told her she shouldn't have come over without notice, but turns out my husband told her to come over at 9 to discuss a family crisis. My mother-in-law said I was in the wrong for walking around half naked knowing she has a key and might show up any minute. I told her it's my home and she said it's her son's home too. We argued and my husband told me to knock it off and apologize, but I refused and went bavik upstairs. Then after his mom and sister left, he called me childish and inappropriate. I tried to explain my side, but he said what's done's done and he promised his mom that I will apologize, but I said I will never apologize and she's gonna have to wait for decades for that. He got upset and called me disrespectful towards my guests. And mother-in-law was technically a guest, so he's still nagging me for an apology to his mom via email to get this over with. AITA for not apologizing? I'll apologize if it turns out that I'm here. Edit. Wow. So there's too many comments here and I can't respond to all of them. However, I saw some info questions, and I'll answer them below. First and foremost, I'm not American. I wish lol. You guys probably figured this out by my horrific grammar lol, but I did my best. Mother-in-law has a copy of the key. After what happened, I told my husband to tell his mom to give the key back, but he said no and that he won't punish her for something I did. Yes. He tends to take her side more often. She's super conservative and does not like me very much. Oh, and one more thing. This country I live in, not my country originally, treats women as possessions, e.g. instead of calling me by my name they would say, Eric's wife, or his woman, which is rude and offensive. Another e.g. is that there are lots of places women cannot access and seeing a woman drive can be seen as an unusual thing for them. The reason I married my husband was that he was different from them. Truth be told, I've been feeling overwhelmed and depressed lately and mom isn't near so I could visit and vent to her. NTA 1. As you can't trust her not to walk anytime. Get the key back from Mill. 2. If my husband reacted like that he wouldn't be seeing me in my underwear for quite some time. It being inappropriate and all. NTA. Sounds like husband never needs to see you naked again. Just in case Mill and Sil randomly walk in. So sorry, husband. Don't want to be disrespectful to our guests. NTA. Here's a list of apologies owed. 1. Your husband owes you an apology for not telling you they were coming over, thereby putting you in the situation. He also owes you an apology for insulting you and belittling your feelings and talking about you as if you're a child. Seriously. Make you apologize. Like what? 2. Your husband owes his mom and sister an apology for creating the situation. 3. Your Mill owes an apology for the insults she said. I realize it was startling. But you were doing nothing wrong. She also owes you an apology for barging in. Knocking is a thing. Even if you have a key. Honestly, your husband's reaction is the most concerning to me. He is being so disrespectful to you about this. You need to set some boundaries about them coming over unannounced, since this was so traumatizing for them apparently. NTA. You didn't have guests. You had people let themselves into your home uninvited. Take their key and talk to your husband about boundaries. NTA. If I as a woman accidentally see another female relation naked, I would say, "Whoops. Didn't mean to surprise you." That is a normal level of response. You could have been sat in the kitchen naked, with a dildo in your hand. If your mill doesn't like surprises, she should knock. NTA. NTA. Girl, you have a husband problem. Key privileges should be revoked. Who the fuck just walks into anyone else's home when they can knock, ring the bell? NTA. Change the locks. NTA. Your husband invited them over, neglected to tell you about it, and was still in bed at the time they set? It's not your fault for not knowing that they were coming over because he didn't tell you. And I find it really weird that they used the key knowing you're home. Though this might be a cultural thing. My sil has a key and she always rings the doorbell to be let in anyways. It's just respectful. She only uses the key in emergencies or when taking care of our dog. You were not in the wrong, but all of them were. Please take her key to your house back. NTA. I'm guessing that's not the only issue you have with your in-laws, or your husband. NTA. Husband and Mill are being ridiculous. NTA. She shouldn't enter your home without ringing in the first place unless you allowed her. I assume she has the key for emergencies and not to use it to her liking to break into your privacy. Your husband is in awe too for not informing you and then catering to his mom by saying it won't happen again. Hell no. NTA. That is your home and you were wearing the equivalent of a bathing suit. It sounds like it's time to change the locks. NTA. This is absurd. You were in your house. 1. Your husband should have told you they were coming over. He should apologize to you both. Though mainly you, because again, you were in your own freaking house. And 2. Even if she was invited over, why in the world would she use her key right away? An emergency key is for emergencies. For when people in the house can't get into it or are in distress. Not for whenever she visits so she can walk right in. This isn't a 90s sitcom where people are just allowed to Kramer their way into someone else's place for kicks. A woman in her underwear, in her kitchen. The horror. NTA. NTA. Even if you have a key, they should be knocking on the door to be let in if you don't actually live in that house. NTA. This is what happens when you don't inform your partner that someone is coming over early. You don't call to make sure they are up, etc. if early. Or get this turn up unannounced. Your husband owes you an apology for not telling you they was coming over and for his reaction to you in your own home. Your Mill and Sil owe you an apology for the gross overreaction. NTA at all. Just because she has a key does not mean that she can come in unannounced. Do not apologize. The Mill should apologize to you. You were disrespectful to them? No. They were disrespectful to you. He promised his mom that you would apologize? This is a huge red flag. You need to decide if you want to stay married to this mama's boy. I don't see this situation improving. NTA. It's your house. You did nothing inappropriate and you don't owe anybody an apology. You are owed apologies from several people.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.